hair is so luscious today.
Oh yeah, pull that pony.
Very luscious.
Don't zoom in on this.
Just, thank you, Tsunami. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's talk about Gaming Gladiators versus Team Secret. Effie mentioned it there that Secret has to win this if they want to keep their major hopes alive. As for Gaming Gladiators, if they win, then I mean, their hopes stay alive to go to the major, but it's not necessarily set in stone. They'll still have to go through potential tiebreakers. But really, if Secret loses, the big storyline is they would have to beat Goon Squad in their following match in order to avoid Div 2 relegation.
Yeah.
That's a huge story.
With how game 1 went, it might happen. We'll see. Secret can bounce back.
Yeah, Puppy's going to take a hammer, and he's going to take a death. First blood goes the way of Duraccio on the same position 1 Dawnbreaker. Had a great game in game number 1. Off to a great start.
Yeah, so what I expected from Gaming Gladiators this game is, you know, this team, they love to do their tri-lanes. They love to do weird lane shenanigans. And they have Viper versus Timbersaw. So I thought they're probably going to end up doing an aggro tri-lane, and that's why they're doing this level 1 shenanigans. We'll see where Ace ends up actually going. He's in the mid lane right now. We'll still see. You never know with Gaming Gladiators, but I'm anticipating some lane shenanigans here. Nope, just kidding. Maybe they'll... No, they're not tri-laning either. Okay. They're okay. Standard. They're okay having the Dawnbreaker and CM into the Timber. Maybe the idea is the Viper or Leshrac will rotate early on and make the Timber's life difficult. Because I guarantee you, Ice is not being allowed to just have this free lane for, you know, a 6-minute window or something like that. There's going to be pretty early rotations.
Now we're seeing the battery assault from Puppy, but it's going to get turned around on, and he's going to be forced to TP again. This time it will be to the tier 1 tower, so still very low on HP and only a couple more tangos to go. What do you think of position 1 Weaver these days? Maybe this is confirmation bias, probably from past patches. I have zero faith in this hero as a carry.
I'm not a fan currently. I feel like its early laning is really weak. You often see this hero die because of the cooldown on Sakuchi. And the late game, I feel like a lot of these new age carries like Dawnbreaker, like they do a lot more at all points in the game. Like they're faster than Weaver, but then also do some insane shit in the late game too. I mean, we'll see. The win rate on the hero is not that bad. It's like about 50%. But from what we've seen in competitive, at least in Western EU, it has not gone well every time that it's been picked.
Well, Zayats is going to get taken out by Celery, so again, we're seeing the prowess of this Dawnbreaker CM lane, which, if you're Secret, obviously did not ban that out.
So now I'm understanding now why Gaming Gladiators chose to do the lanes this way, even though they do have the Viper versus the Timber, if they wanted it. I think it's because of the supports. I think that they believe that they can kill the supports in both side lanes, regardless of what the cores are there, that they can win the lanes. Like we saw down here, Zayats went down, and on the top lane, Clockwork doesn't want to just sit there and trade into like a Viper and a Tusk. But what else does Clockwork do, right? Clockwork runs at you with battery assault, so he has to sit here just denying creeps, which doesn't feel that good. It's like people are picking Viper versus Death Prophet support. It's the same thing, right? You close the gap, you just run at people, and Viper kills you.
Starbreaker was interrupted there by Zayats on the Shadow Shaman, which is another hero I actually want to talk about. Not often picked, his Puppy. Okay, Snowball into another death for him. So this top and bottom lane going the way of Gaming Gladiators, and we just take a little peek mid. 14-3 versus the 11-3 in terms of the CS discrepancy between the mid laners. Relatively even. Not too big of an advantage one way or the other. But yeah, talk to me about Mr. Shadow Shaman, as we're seeing another shackle. Buy some time for Ice, but the hammer should be enough. So Celery picks up another kill for himself.
Yeah, Gaming Gladiators, they had a really great call on these lanes. They were confident that even though they're laning some melee strength hero into Timber, that with the support matchups, like they'd still win, even killing the Timber. But what was your question again? What did you say?
The Shadow Shaman.
Ah, yes, of course, the Shadow Shaman. I think the hero's pretty weak after... I mean, it's really good disable, That is something that is always going to be true for Shadow Shaman. It's good tower pressure. Of course, there are other heroes that offer tower pressure, even in the support position. Jakiro's fairly strong right now. I think a big reason why this hero was very prevalent at the start of the patch was the ability to solo Roche. And now that you can't do that, it's much less of a threat that you have to worry about. It's not like a Huskar or an Ursa anymore. And having that from the support position was of huge value. Now it's kind of more like you have to have somebody going and actually tank it for you. So it's more of a commitment. Yeah. So
you do have heroes like Clockwork with Battery Assault or Timber Saw just being tanky.
Reactive. Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, like you said, the wards still do the same amount of damage.
It's
just that Roche will target them if they're left to
and they get one shot. So I think it's still fine. It's a decent hero, but it's not... It was very OP at the start of the patch. It wasn't just good, it was OP.
Zayats is going to run right into Boom on this Leshrac, which is another hero we've yet to talk about. He doesn't have much mana, but the hammer should slow enough with the Split Earth setup. And Boom gets his first kill of the game. And some mangoes being consumed now, so Boom. We'll have another water rune at the 4-minute mark to refill that bottle. Okay, Zeus versus Lesh in the mid lane. Are you expecting... I mean, it's a little late into the laning stage, I guess, to answer this now, but how's that matchup go?
Well, it's late in the laning stage to also say this, but I imagine, considering Nisha wanted this Zeus last pick, that does very well against Lesh in the mid lane, as we see Zayak.
Yeah.
Zayats, he's there.
He's got the Shackle with his tongue. Oh, but the Split Earth Frostbite combo, not the best layering, but that's mostly just in a defensive measure to get away. So good TP support from Gaming Gladiators again. Ice is... Oh, he actually misses the Timber Chain. Or did he actually eat that?
I think he missed the Timber Chain on the tree.
Okay. Like, he doesn't have a Quelling Blade anymore.
The range has been nerfed. It's definitely a noticeable nerf. First off, the latch range got nerfed way long ago, which was a noticeable change. And then now it's 50 less range at all levels, which is also very noticeable. So we can see the effect of that there. This hero's win rate has actually plummeted since that change, as well as maybe a couple of other minor nerfs, but...
Yep, Crystallis. Oh, he's going to get snowballed on. Shikuchi's about to run out. I don't know if Tofu could actually finish him off. We'll turn their sights onto Puppey instead, but he Clockwork cogs him to the other side, so Tofu is going to get dropped. So nice job from Secret. And Ace still has to kill that Swarm off. He's going to apply a lot of pressure to Puppey now. This is the slowest death of all time. Has to pop the Fairy Fire in tow. And he dies inside his own cogs. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Position 4 for 5.
Yep, this is honestly how I've seen a lot of Viper lanes go against Weaver. Is like if you have a sentry, it doesn't really feel like, you know, you'd think the Weaver's like, oh, you haste to move speed versus a hero that slows you, right? Surely that's got to be good, but Weaver's stats are just so horrendous, very squishy, and you know, the damage over time really does neuter him. As long as you have that sentry down in the lane, which Gaming Gladiators, as we can see, they are winning the sentry battle in that lane.
Ice, not quite level 5, about to hit it now. We'll see if that 3rd level of reactive armor will keep him safe in this bot lane. I mean, how does this matchup generally go between Dawnbreaker and Timber anyway? Because it is melee versus melee, which Timbersaw typically likes. But you can see a lot of magic damage is coming out of Dyrachyo that Timbersaw can't really ignore.
I mean, it's a fairly new one. It's not like age old. You know, like Timber versus like Centaur or something like that. Dawnbreaker does actually do a lot of magic damage, so I thought it would be okay for the Dawnbreaker, but I did not expect it to go like this. Like, I actually thought they were going to land the Viper into Timber.
Snowball back out. Ace finds the kill onto Puppey. And Dawnbreaker, okay, that's going to be a nice pick off for Secret. Helped out with that Thunder God's Wrath, of course.
Yeah, at some point, Gaming Gladiators wants to rotate the Lesh or the Viper down towards Ice. Because when this... He's a beast. He's a beast.
Oh, but Weaver, this is a huge kill if Crystals gets picked off, and Tofu with a nice job on the shards. So despite losing a core hero in that Dawnbreaker, it feels like Gaming Gladiators are getting most of these trades in this early stage.
It's actually the top and the mid lane that are doing very well right now. As Boom does rotate bot. So they are doing this. You rotate the Timber counter once that Timber counter has some levels. Nisha is doing a counter rotation towards top too.
And Celery and Boom looking to wrap around the trees in the bot lane to try to get a kill onto Ice, but doesn't look like it's to be. As Ace just taking a little bit of farm where he can take it.
The lane's like a little far up. Puppy's trying to go for a wraparound.
Yep, the Shukuchi in. Puppy still has his battery assault cogs. Shard's not quite keeping anybody in place, and Ace is going to be the casualty for Gaimin.
Very patient from Nisha. And Zayats is mid, getting XP during this. He's going to go down.
That's a little bit of a negative XP since he is dying.
Yeah.
2P. Ice. All right, he's got the Chakram ready to go, but doesn't want to go up against this beefy Leshrac with all that magic damage. That ends up being a wasted TP for him, as his top 3 net worths in the game are all on the side of Gaming Gladiators. But it's not by a substantial amount.
Yeah, only by a bit. Only by a bit right now. Although, I do think with Boom, having level 3 and Edict, they're very comfortable running around on Gaming Gladiators and pressuring these towers. For Secret, they're waiting for Shadow Shaman's level 6. They're smoked up. He, of course, does not have that yet, but he is with Nisha, who's very strong. And they're going towards bot lane.
Yep, and their sights are set onto Dyrachyo, who has died once this game. They don't want him to get off to that same start he did game number 1.
Yeah, and Ice is down here as well, so this is a pairing of 2 very strong heroes right now, the Zeus and Timbersaw. It would take a big rotation from...
He is going to show. It actually uses his hammer to get up close to the wave, but Secret not really comfortable diving. And in fact, they're going to kind of disperse as Nisha goes just back into the jungle now.
Okay. Taking some enemy jungle farm.
Yep, Celery's going to spot them, but no kills will come of anything.
Okay.
Dyrachyo looks like it's going to be the same build in all likelihood with that Echo Saber to start things off. See if he goes for that casual. Does he go casual Blightstone, you think, consistently? Or is that just a... Obviously did turn into a Deso, but much, much later.
I think it's a probably consistent thing.
And Chrysalis inside the shards, but time lapses to the other side. So at this stage, with Shukuchi having a relatively low cooldown, it's going to be a bit of a tough kill for Gaming Gladiators, but they do force out the Weaver overall.
Yeah, still, I mean, 0 cooldown on Viper's Q, right? So it's still like, you can't just sit there and passively lane against a Viper. And Weaver's not that good at pushing out waves either, so it does feel a little crappy to be Weaver at this point. In this lane, you'd like to maybe like head towards bot and take that tower and then, farm that whole area instead of being up here.
At what point does Boom come up to try to take this tier 1? As we're going to see the snowball, but Crystal is out of range. Still has a snowball icon attached to him for some reason. The Dawnbreaker ult comes in, connects nicely, and Puppy inside his own cogs. Ace is getting really low. It's not the Viper strike, but it looks like he's going to be the one to fall instead. Ice making his transition over as well. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of Secret, but I mean, I say that, it is still a position 1 Weaver that drops. And it took their whole team to TP here.
That's everybody. That is everybody. On a tower, I think that's probably going to go down pretty soon, but they do get a pretty juicy kill in Ace. I think that's pretty important. And also forces out Dyrachyo's ult, which means any play the Secret makes, if they want to go for a re-smoke somewhere, there's going to be no Dawnbreaker ult coming in. So
yeah,
definitely a position where Secret can take advantage.
So we see a smoke from Gaimin. But it's going to be spotted now, and I think they're just going to be pushing the waves here and biding their time. Perhaps waiting for this Dawnbreaker ult to come back up. He is 200 away from the Echo Saber, so being that close to a pretty valuable item for him, maybe want to slow things down. As Puppy apparently trapped him, or he got trapped inside the wards.
That would be Zayat, and then Ice takes him out there.
Yep, Zayat is dead. Inside the cogs, Puppy doing a nice job of containing Tofu, and the Thunder God's Wrath is enough to find the kill. As Ice barely gets out with the Timber Chain. Puppy getting chased by Ace now. Will not tick down the one. Okay.
Oh, that was really close. Yeah. That was almost a cool guys don't look at explosions sort of mistake there from Ace, but he made the right calculations. 5 stacks of that Viper Q.
He's got that TI-83 calculator.
He really does, yeah.
Is that still a thing, by the way?
No, we're on TI-10 now, TI-11.
Oh, okay, great. Good joke.
Thank you. Be here all week. Actually, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Be here for another day. Good.
For that shellacking tier list, they had me axed.
Well, that would have been sad if that never actually came up.
Yeah, we got lucky. Shout outs to
Thanks, Secret.
Yeah.
Oh, Snowball into the Walrus Punch, and they have the burst damage. Crystal is dead in the blink of an eye, and you can see Secret want to try to get Dyrachyo to get a bit of a trade, and they'll find him. So 1 for 1, but this is turning into a good old-fashioned team fight as Boo able to do so much damage. Ice comes in, gets rooted, and he's ticking down to this Leshrac. Double kill for Boom. And Zayats, they're trying to use the wards to their cover, but Gaming Gladiators is doing a really nice job of keeping their distance. Charge keeps the Zeus in place. They're not going to pursue any further. So at the end of all that, it was a 3 for 1 in favor of Gaimin.
Man, I gotta say, I'm really impressed in this series with how Gaimin is playing their team fights. Like, generally, I feel like this is a team that team fights very well, so it's not something that they aren't... Like, they do this, right? But the way that they are comboing their abilities together and perfectly chain stunning, but then also, like, spacing away from the damage sources in this fight, so... Like, Celery pops the ulti, Boom is there, and he's making sure that he's soaking up the battery assaults on the right so that he can get the ult off. They're staying away from these Serpent wards. Nisha's there as well, using his long range, but doesn't want to walk into the tower. So Boom is keeping his distance. He doesn't walk in and go for his AoE damage. Instead, he stuns from long distance because he knows it's enough damage to kill him. Like, this is what they did to Crystals on the Huskar in the last game, and now they're doing it in this game, just in different scenarios. And it's very impressive. It's hard to play into a team that is just fighting like this. Like, it's flawless from them. And so they're getting like 2 extra kills in fights when they should only have 1. And when you take that sort of advantage in Dota, it's like, well, this is a very snowbally game. It matters a lot.
Especially when you have a hero with Snowball.
Literally with
on
Snowball.
Your team.
And he has been on point with those too.
Yeah, he has been very impressive this game. There's a smoke from Gaimin into the enemy jungle. There might be a warding expedition as they're not going to find anybody outright, but could try to backstab in the mid lane. As Nisha
walking in, dude.
Yeah,
that's not it.
This could be bad.
Oh, that camp is the bane of all mid
They
laners' existence.
spot him, but they're going to be spotted themselves by Puppey. So Nisha will be safe.
Yeah, nice scouting from the secret supports there, protecting the mid laner. It's a Zeus. I was going to say the carry. Zeus is a carry from the mid, so high value hero to protect.
Up, we're going to have some action in the bot lane. Ice cannot do anything. It's just way too much magic damage for a Timber to sustain.
That was nice from Celery, too. Actually, Puppey?
Yep. Does find Tofu, gets the Walrus Punch off, but he's going to be completely surrounded. You can see the Viper able to get some right clicks on the Puppey, but not going to do much in the end. So 1 for 1 across the board, but again, Gaimin getting the higher value kill. And they've actually extended this to a 4K lead in their favor. In terms of the Roche battles, do you give anybody the favor?
Clockwork has the Vision. Gaimin has CM ult, Dawn ult. I guess most of Lesh spells, like... You want to fight in a kind of closed-off area.
Yeah.
Secret has Serpent wards, so they're better at taking the Roche. Zeus, I think, can sit on the high ground and, like, you know, shoot lightning into the river. So it's very similar to last game where neither team is really that comfortable just like committing to it. But Secret, if Gaimin is somewhere else entirely, they can take it very quickly with the Serpent wards.
Yeah. Interested to see if Secret tries to go for a sneaky Roche play since they do have those Serpent wards. They just need, like you said, somebody to at the very least tank it up. They have the Swarm as well for that minus armor.
Yeah.
But it looks like Gaming Gladiators grouping up towards the top lane. Maybe trying to pressure this tier 2 a bit. This Ice, I mean, he wants to do what Timbersaws do, which is solo a lane and just kind of ignore everything else, but we saw how fast he can die, even as a Timbersaw.
Yeah. To combat the fact that he's against a bunch of counters, he's actually gone for this just straight Yule's build. No hood. Just Yules to survive. He thinks the only thing that's going to keep him alive is literal invulnerability.
Interesting. This feels like a pretty good Hood game.
He just thinks it's like too much. Like a Hood is just going to... He's dead anyway, you know?
I see. Well, game of Gladiators, I mean, there's been a little bit of a stalemate right now, but they're just going to use this net worth advantage to take Roche themselves.
Once again, Radiant advantage, right? Enemy team goes towards your bot jungle because that's where they need to play if they want to be aggressive at all, which Dota is a game where you want to be aggressive, and all of a sudden they're away from Roche.
And that means Boom has an Aegis, probably the second best Aegis carrier in the game.
Yep. Probably the best now that Storm is completely awful.
Yeah, I don't think that tier list should be affected by how good a hero is.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. I can respect that.
You like tier list, of course.
Of course, big fan. That Gabens to that one too.
Indeed, Boom. Pretty low on mana right now. Is Dyrachyo just ready to use that Solar Guardian? At the root. Frostbite for Puppey. He's faking out his hook shot. Oh boy, he actually misses it on the retreat, so they can just take him down inside his own cog. With the Solar Guardian being used to full effect, take out this Rasta. So the two supports for Secret are dead instantly. Nisha, he's at quite the distance here, so is safe. Continuing to get these Arc Lightning spams. He's going to get that Thunder God's Wrath to find himself a kill, as the buyback for Shadow Shaman is there as well. Celery, he's getting kited. Not enough damage for Ice quite yet to take out this Aegis, but with that zap from Zeus, it is enough. Now they're going to have to try to turn this around as Leshrac back to full HP, gets off the Yules, and they're going to kill off Chrysalis pretty early in this mini engagement. The TP in by Puppey is going to force Game and Gladiators retreat, as his hook shot's going to be up not for another 10 seconds.
There's a really important Yules on Zayats from Boom upon respawn. I was thinking, like, oh, he's going to get hexed and gripped. Like, what is he going to do? I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get off. Like, maybe he gets off the Hood. Maybe he gets off, like, toggling the ult, but he can do one thing. And the one thing he chooses is to Yules the guy that's going to instant hex him so he can get off more things. In retrospect, it's pretty obvious, but in a situation like that, where the fight is happening, it's not so obvious in the heat of the moment. So good presence of mind from him there.
Yep, silver lining for Secret, although this is a brown lighting, pretty sure. Ice is dead.
Skid mark.
A little skid mark in the history of Secret, but... what was I saying?
I don't remember.
The silver lining for Secret was what? Oh, they got the Aegis.
They got the Aegis. That's right.
That is something.
Yeah.
But this is looking like an uphill battle, and... I mean... Obviously, Secret playing with a stand-in for the rest of this season because of Yapsor not being available for the near future. Wish him well, of course. There's now a BKB online for Boom. This is a true power spike for Lesh.
Yep, and Dyrachyo also has his BKB. Ace, he's also got his flying up. Wow, he's not disassembling the Dragonlance. He just straight up bought the Ogre Axe because he's just that farmed on Viper. So he's got, 3 BKBs. I mean, this is an incredible timing from Game Gladiators.
Obviously, don't have that Aegis anymore, but the hook shot comes in from Puppey, but he is completely surrounded and will die for his sins. Like, all right, guys, their whole team's there. Just the FYI.
That seemed a little bit like, I don't know. There's nobody on the same page as him.
Well, it's probably for the best. Their whole team.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. I mean, just scout at least that, like, oh yeah, they're all there, guys. But I do kind of feel like they knew that already.
And now the lead is starting to get to a point where Secret's comeback trail is becoming harder and harder to see. Ice at the very least will get out. But 8K at 22 minutes is quite substantial.
Secret needs their Crystals BKB. Ice is going for a Sanj, so he'll have the Sanj and Kaya. That's not really a huge timing. It's more of like I don't know. It amplifies his strength, but it's not some like static increase in his strength, and I don't feel like he's really feeling that strong in this game. So I don't think that's a huge power spike. Nisha, he's got his Sanj and Kaya. Yeah, it's really his Crystals BKB that's the big spike coming up next. Maybe the Blink Dagger on Zayats means that they could get some pick-off situation going on. I don't think that improves their chances in a team fight for Secret when he gets the Blink on Shadow Shaman. I think that's more so the side lanes become more dangerous for Gaiman. So Dyrachyo down here doing this could potentially go down. But still.
Crystallis is somebody we haven't really talked about too much. He's going to finally get his BKB in a minute here. This needs to be delivered. But they're going to be lacking physical damage still. Has the Dragon Lance already.
He's building into Deso, so he recognizes that.
Yep, Solar Guardian set up with the split Earth, so Puppey draw. Oh my God! What the hell was that?
That was just one of the slashes.
I feel like that was a Deso, but it's just the Blightstone.
Yeah, just Luminosity crit. That's it. As Nisha gets caught.
Yeah, this will be a big kill. Split Earth, but TP's coming. Ice. They could try to turn this around. I mean, very little mana to work with on Boom. As you can see, the trap onto the Tusk, so Tofu taken out by the backstab of Zayats. Now Boom just trying to get out with his life. Zayats pays the ultimate price thanks to Ace. As Ice. He wants to continue on, but again, the Starbreaker doing so much damage. He's going to get chased down potentially. Dyrachyo, another couple right clicks. Oh, he gets the Yules off, and that's going to buy enough time for Dyrachyo to be taken out by Crystallis. Nicely done from Secret, and they get a much-needed team fight win.
I mean, Ace died to Nisha, too, on the side. Yeah, that was one of those situations where, I mean, Gaiman, they went deep because they thought, like, oh, well, this is, a Zeus. Like, we need to kill the Zeus if we're going to pressure any towers, especially the high ground. But with the Heavenly Jump, it's too hard to catch him. He's halfway to his fountain by the time you get him. And the overcommitment from Gaiman, I liked how Ace played that fight, like, basically recognizing that Boom had made a mistake with this dive. So we can see here, like, the whole time Nisha's holding onto the Heavenly Jump, he feels pretty fine debating this. Tofu hits a nice shards, but what are you gonna do? And Boom, when he uses the BKB, he doesn't have enough mana to TP out right now, which means Ace has to commit with his BKB on Zayats. Otherwise, Zayats continues chasing, right? And so Boom, yeah, he gets out, fine, but everybody else committed in order to save him. And in order to turn this fight into something that was good for Gaiman, they all overcommitted. And a Secret, they made him bleed. And Ice waits the last second to Yules, too, also debating there. So very nice baits from Secret.
Yep. They're going to need a couple more of those to get back in this game. But you can see the lead has reduced a decent amount now. As Nisha, I think he had Shard for that last fight, right? So has the static field, which... What is this equivalent to in terms of the old... Is it like a level 2.5 or level 3 static field?
It's like 3 and a bit.
Okay, it's more than 3 then.
Yeah, I think level 2...
4 was like 11 then, I think.
I think 4 was 11, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's the level 3 one. But it's pretty high level.
And he has his Essence Ring to go along with Kaya Sange. And he is 500 away from Ag, so Nimbus will be a thing. And even though this is very unrealistic, if they have vision of the Dawnbreaker trying to Solar Guardian, they can just cancel that with the Nimbus.
True. I mean, you could ult to get vision and then instant Nimbus if you're quick enough. I will see that a total of 0 times this game because it's very unrealistic, but it would be very cool.
Is it? I guess it would be worth to use in that way.
It would definitely be worth it. You're preventing the enemy carry from coming to the fight. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
It's just very, very quick that you're gonna have to be on the trigger for that.
Well, maybe you can bait him into going for an Aghanim Scepter. Then you have 6 seconds potentially.
Yeah,
if he doesn't click it again.
That's true.
You can see Ace picks up a shard for himself.
Channeling it with the Ags. I think you're in the sky. I don't think you sit there channeling it. I've never seen a Dawnbreaker sitting there waving her hammer over her head for 6 seconds.
You're probably right.
That
would be awful.
Horrible. This is an OP hero, not a shitty one.
Fair enough. You got me on that one. And the next Roche, well, we won't know for another 40 seconds when it spawns, and that's going to be... I mean, I feel like if Gaiman get that one uncontested, then Secret are going to be in another hole. But this, like we said, big power spikes. We got Deso on the Weaver.
These are big ones.
Aghanims on Zeus.
Yeah, that dive from Gaiman and Secret punishing it let them get to that 2 very big power spikes. We were talking about them a few minutes ago, and there wasn't really anything that big coming up, but
Hook shot misses, but Zayats is there with the lockdown, but the Solar Guardian coming in, and Tofu's getting healed to a high degree. Dyrachyo kind of left alone because of the segregation of those wards. Dyrachyo, BKB running out. He gets the kill, but only on a support to start things off. Ace gets off the Viper Strike. Ice, trying to get out. Celery. Okay, they're going to focus on Chrysalis, but pops that BKB before the Split Earth connects. They get the dust off as well. Looks like Celery is definitely dead. Oh, okay.
Oh, he doesn't
chooses not to kill him. Interesting is Dyrachyo. Now the focus is on Ice, who drops to that Split Earth, and now Puppy in the trees. Tofu. He's going to be the one that gets taken out, though. And the rest of Secret on the run, but Crystallis is found, and that is a big kill for Gaming Gladiators.
Man, that fight is supposed to be the one that goes well for Secret.
Oh, hook shot. It's not over yet, Puppy. Gets off. Okay. That thing does so much damage. It's actually comical. Zayats gets off the Hex, though, into the Shackle and into the kill on Dyrachyo. You can see he's very upset because that fight was definitely in their favor, but now, not so much.
Yeah, now it's probably even or in Secret's favor. I mean, they're at
and Roche is up.
Deficit. Yeah, I mean, if they just don't die there, I think they walk into Roche and take it. Feels bad for Crystallis in that fight. He really wanted to get some charges on his Deso. He could have gotten that from killing the CM. I think he thought that his, like, Sakuchi or a, you know,
his Geminate was
Geminate or something. Yeah, like, was gonna take out Celery there, but chooses to let him live. I mean, you could see he commits the entire BKB. Maybe it's because the BKB is about to time out.
I think he just misclicked, actually. They're relatively close to each other.
Or maybe there's a fogging situation that happened there, too, with that tree. And it was right at the end of the BKB, so I know that a lot of carry players, especially very safe ones like Crystallis, I would say when it comes to like his pub play, as he gets caught out again, I don't know what the hell gives so much vision. But Crystallis is a pretty safe player.
Yep, Secret doing exactly what they need to do, knowing the Dawnbreaker's dead for another 12 seconds. They get the Aegis onto Crystallis. All they lose is Puppy, and I believe that came with the Shard. And the question is, who gets the Shard? He has it on Weaver still. Yet to, okay, finally does consume it. So this is an interesting Shard. It gives you the Swarm upgrade, which reduces the cooldown by 2, and it shows invis units, which this game not really very helpful, I don't think. And then the Geminate will also hit units within 1200 range of the original target that have Swarm Beetles attached. So it's kind of like a mini flat cannon.
Yeah.
But Swarm has to be active.
It's a good shard.
It is
It's
good.
a great shard. Anybody who played the Aghanim's Labyrinth and got this shard on Weaver,
you needed it, yeah.
which I think is where the original idea came from. Is you know that this was like the best DPS hero in the game for clearing like large amounts of units.
That's right.
Even like 5 units or something, you would do the highest DPS, especially with this Deso. So yeah, it's a very good shard in theory. It's just the problem is that, like, you know, in a real game, like people can kill the bugs. But that's why you go for the bug talents. 2 swarm attacks to kill. They got that at level 15, so those are even stronger. Geminate attack damage, you have to go for that. That one's been buffed too much. You gotta go for that one.
But we got an even crazier Ags online for Tofu. We've been watching and waiting as he slowly built the progression towards this Walrus kick, and he officially has it now. And this one is... it's funny because obviously people make a big deal about it because it's cool looking and whatnot. This,
yep.
Single target-wise, is one of the most powerful spells in the game because it goes through BKB. Obviously, it depends on who you're going against, and I would say that Secret's lineup is actually okay against it because they have a lot of mobility.
Oh, Boom is sniffing out Zayats down here. He's
Zayats?
Maybe gonna find him because of the blink.
All right. Blinks into death, and they're going to farm up these wards as well.
Now, Zayats didn't think that many people were looking for him there. But the Tusk Ags, I think the reason, well, a big reason the Tusk Ags is so OP is because it kicks you so far, you can choose virtually any target, and it's a good target. Even a Timbersaw who gets kicked that far out of position will die. Like, I wanted to say, oh, this is great for jumping the backline Zeus. Oh, this is great for jumping the backline Shadow Shaman. It doesn't matter who you jump with the kick. as long as they're that max distance away from your team, by the time the enemies get to them, no matter how tanky they are, they're going to be dead. It feels similar to the Magnus Horn Toss, except obviously it costs a lot more net worth, which makes it maybe less OP than that one was.
Yeah, for full effectiveness, you need not only Ags, but Blink, right? So that's over 6K of items.
Maybe even Ether Lens to make it even stronger with that vector targeting. Because the like grab range is pretty short.
Ooh, overwhelming Blink. That's a juicy pickup from Dyrachyo.
Oh, yeah, that is a nice one. I mean, the combo is to like blink and wow
Starbuck shot, trying to put Ace onto the other side, but he gets Force Staff to safety, and instead Puppy is the one that feels the wrath of Gaming Gladiators. Does have buyback though, and of course Secret still with the Aegis, despite being the ones defending on their own high ground.
These Force Staffs are feeling very powerful against the Secret lineup. It's like if they get Shadow Shaman gripped, they can get forced out of that. If they get Cogs, they can get forced out of that. You got the Nimbus, you can force out of that. It's enough that the Gaming Gladiators, they feel like they can just put a Viper in front, he gets caught, and you force him out, and then he can BKB afterwards. So they don't feel much of a threat from Secret, although they are smoking onto Dyrachyo. Is very tanky.
Yes, he is. Uses his Starbreaker, though, gets instantly hexed afterwards. This would be a big kill for Secret, with the Nimbus helping out. 100 seconds, no Dawnbreaker. Very nice pickup. And we'll see how much more network they can make up while he's dead.
That's like the biggest kill of the game for Secret, I think. I mean, we'll see. But now it's on Gaming Gladiators. They've, a minute and a half that they have to do evasive maneuvers. They've got no carry. Luckily, it is a guy that once he respawns, he can globally get into the fight, no matter where Gaming Gladiators end up.
Yep.
But Secret should be able to consume a lot of the map. Even Crystal is going for that mid-tower, finally taking that out, which has been a right. That makes a lot of sense.
Interesting. Where is Crystal Maiden exactly? So the dog just got stuck somewhere.
Yeah,
Why does she not notice that her dog's missing?
That is animal abuse.
That's a terrible dog owner. My God, look at this thing.
Okay. It's on a treadmill.
Yeah.
That dog is thick and working out.
Needs it.
Okay.
Aghanim's now on the left. I don't even understand how does that happen?
I don't know.
Is that even worth reporting as a bug?
I didn't even. Yeah, I think.
I bet from like a Valve perspective, if they tried to fix it, it's like, how do you replicate this? I mean, I guess you have a replay system to see, but that's a difficult one.
Who cares?
All right, we can talk about that all day, but Secret. So with that kill, they brought it back about 3K now, and Dawnbreaker has respawned. So now I feel like it's about taking a fight right before the next Roche, because again, if Gaming Gladiators get that and they have the Aegis on, I mean, it doesn't really matter at this stage, but Dawnbreaker or Lesh, they are going to push so fast.
Yeah, they are, and both sides have very big item timings. They have Scotty on Viper, just picked up for Gaming Gladiators. On the flip side, Ice just picked up his Scythe of Vice. That's a lot of ices in one sentence.
Scythe of Ice.
There it is.
Timber Chains. Overwhelming Blink not there. Oh, the instant hex, but Zayat's deleted. But you can see the Lesh taking a ton of damage. Starbreaker's not enough to save his life. So it's a 1-for-1 support for position 2. Dyrachyo, his BKB. Okay. He's just left all alone. So double kill for Crystallis as Secret again winning a big fight. Celery trying to get out, but the battery assault there just in time. So 3 kills, all for Arasta.
Wow. I mean, great call from Zayat to go in there, feeling like if they can get the Hex to start, that they can pump enough damage into Boom that, like, even if the BKBs were to come out, like, the bug's on you and you're minus what, like 11 armor or something, and you're dead anyway. We were kind of shit-talking Weaver a little bit at the start, but it's looking pretty good as a solution to the Gaming Gladiators course. Like, it's melting through the Dawnbreaker, who has a lot of HP, but with all this minus armor, he's actually tearing through her.
Yep, he's got Daedalus now, so tons of right-click potential. Oh, the kick back into the snowball. Ice pops the BKB, but the Viper Strike goes right through it. Puppey gets off the hook shot. Nimbus comes in as well. Looks like that's enough to take out Tofu. And if they lose the Viper as well, the buybacks come though. Tofu. Looks like they'll at the very least find Puppey, as the Rax is going to be taken out in favor of Secret. Tofu has to be careful not to die back. So Secret taking the advantage now after being down by a sizable amount. And they're going to get the dieback potentially now, and they do. Down goes Tofu for 110 seconds, which leaves Roche as a distinct possibility. Oh, actually, this is a very late spawning Roche. No, this is a 3-minute Roche.
It instantly spawned in 3 minutes.
Yes.
I thought that was a complete bar. Like, I thought it was, there was no circle
It's
there.
a loading.
Like a full
loading
circle,
bar.
but it's a loading bar.
Yeah.
I thought it was the full circle. Yeah, that is a mountain of net worth that Team Secret has come back from. Amazing play, by the way, placing that ward and doing the fake back there. Zayats in the last few minutes of this game is carrying really hard. Like, he's going in and he's dying because he's a Shadow Shaman, as you said. Actually, I think it was Purge on the panel. I don't know why I'm messing you up with Purge.
Okay.
It's the beards.
He has like a 5 o'clock shadow.
The ability to grow a beard, I think.
Oh, okay. So any male.
Right.
And some women.
Yeah. So you two were right about Shadow Shaman dying at the start of every fight, but it seems like that's fine as long as the initiation's on the right target. If it's on Tofu, who has no buyback, he's willing to throw his life away, and it's really more about getting the right jump as opposed to surviving the jump. So really great calls from Secret.
But again, Gaming Gladiators get really lucky that this Roche is a super late spawn because they'll have all 5 members back up.
Yeah. Was it 244?
When I looked, it was 240, but I think it had been up. It might have been close to the full 3 minutes. And you can see Secret just continually checking this out. Can't believe their luck.
Well, he has a DD, I mean, on the Weaver bottled, so...
And I will say the last couple of fights that Gaming Gladiators have lost have basically not had any impact from the Solar Guardian from Duraccio. Oh, he's going to get instant hexed inside the Nimbus and the Wars, but will get out. And look at the counter initiation from Boom. Will they be able to get the Weaver? It's going to be close. They do! Double kill from Boom. And Ice gets rooted, but the big Timber Chain to safety. That's the buyback, though. On to Crystallis. Looks like Puppey's going to die inside his cogs again. As the rest of Gaming Gladiators need to reset. There's still 4 members of Secret ready to fight. I cannot believe how fast Weaver dies to Alesh. Right?
Yeah, that was straight up just Boom individual skilling 2 heroes. Like, he legit just went in there and soloed them with his newly acquired Aghanim Scepter. He's got that
nihilism.
He's got that nihilism. He's an edgy 14-year-old. But look at the damage that this is doing, and the slow too. Like Crystals, he had the BKB, but he chose not to use it because he thought he could get it off at the last second and press the ult. But
yeah,
10% HP. I think even if he presses it, he dies to the pure damage from the Edict.
Yep, Roche up in 12 seconds, and you can see Puppey still has his buyback. Another great Nimbus. But the Force Staffs save Gaming Gladiators again. Those Force Staffs have been super clutch. Ace, really low, though. We'll probably have to go back to Fountain before trying to re-aggress. And Roche is up. And let's see what Roche has on him.
See, that's what I thought the loading bar was the full circle here.
Yep, that's right. It's just the face of Roshan.
It's the face of him.
This is the Aghanim Scepter, and the fact that they had to go back to Fountain in part might leave Secret open to take this uncontested. So you can see, yeah, Gaiman is on their way. It's going to be close. Ice just trying to block things out. There's the Ice Shards. Boom jumps in. They're going to focus on Puppey to start things out, but the Aegis is claimed by Crystallis. The Aghanim Scepter might still be on the floor as Boom trying to reset. In fact, he picks... What did he pick up here? They have the cheese on Weaver as well.
Somebody... Wait a minute.
Somebody picked up...
I'm pretty sure Crystal has picked up everything.
He already had Ags, though.
Who took the Aghanim Scepter?
If he ate the Ags while he... Oh, wait. Aghanim's... It's on Timber still.
It's on Timber.
Okay, so they did get everything on Timber.
Yeah, Aghanim's plus. Yeah, he picked everything up. He was very, very good about running around and getting everything.
Well, that was close to disaster for Secret, but instead they get everything. They get the Roche, and...
Yes, he ran. He BKB'd and grabbed everything. Actually, Ice ran in and picked up the Aghanim.
They had
he knew
time.
he wanted it.
They definitely had time to steal a couple of those items.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think Gaiman were looking to like win the game. They wanted to punish these buybacks, like see if they can take out one of these heroes that bought back in the previous fight. But instead, they get nothing. Really nice kiting by Secret, and they pick up the items. They disengage. They use their BKBs, so it's definitely the right play to get out and just re-engage on the next one.
All right, tier 4 items. They've been up for a while. Don't know why I said that.
Very exciting.
Penta-Edge Sword.
5 out of 5. That's the 5th one.
Yep,
We haven't noticed the other 9.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, Spell Prism on Tusk. He has Aether Lens now, by the way, so talk to me how that works with the vector targeted portion of the spell.
So now that it's vector targeted, so as you know, Aether Lens does not increase like rot range because this is like a radius, right? So the way Tusk Ags used to be.
Oh, Celery's okay. He's gonna die.
Canceled. Yeah, he's dead.
Go ahead.
So now that it's vector targeted, you are actually targeting it on a specific unit, so it's got a range to it, and so Aether Lens works on the like acquisition range for kicking somebody. Now, I don't think that it means you kick somebody farther. I'm pretty sure it just means as you can see, how large this is. That is not the normal kick range.
Kick range is normally just melee, right?
I'm not sure if it's a little bigger than Walrus Punch or if it is exactly Walrus Punch.
Oh, hook shot. Puppey gets kicked out. You can see the BKB activated by Ice as they're inside a Nimbus, and a lot of damage being applied to Tusk, but it's going to be a trade for Puppey. 1-for-1, the buyback onto CM now. As Boom drops, that is a big kill for Secret. He still has buyback, though, as Ace is going to use his BKB, but 4 staffs to safety. You can see Crystallis with the double damage. He's just ripping through everybody. And they're just holding on to this buyback on the Lesh. And obviously going high ground while Tusk is dead is pretty favorable for Secret, not having to worry about that Walrus kick into Fountain or anything.
So, Weaver just picks up his Eye of Scotty. He's got the +1 Geminate attack on level 25. And you've got the Swarm Aghanim Shard. So now he's getting 2 Geminate attacks on every unit. It has effectively doubled his Aghanim Shard damage in the fights because of this 25 talent. This is an insane 25 talent. It makes Weaver's DPS so damn high.
Yep, he is beasting it up, no doubt about it. Oh, we have another hook shot. Puppey gets the Viper inside the cogs. The 4-staff again, but the right click's coming. Oh, not quite enough. The damage is too much to sustain. And Dyrachyo and company will have to stay in Fountain for probably the 2nd set of racks, I would assume, which just taken. So Mega Creeps are coming with this next set. I
think they're waiting for Tusk to respawn. Yeah. They're going to try some Fountain Kick. I'm not sure if you can delay enough for Boom. Maybe
Dyrachyo very deep with the BKB. They're going to have to buy back onto the Viper and the Lesh now. And you can see Dyrachyo just drops himself. Buys back instantly. Double kill for Crystallis as he is just right-clicking everybody into Oblivion. Inside the cogs, he gets annihilated. That is just the Aegis, though. But again, he's kind of stuck in here for now. He's just going to right-click away. Triple kill gets kicked back into the fray. Time-lapse back to his original location, but he's extremely low. Okay. He just gained a lot of HP because of the cheese.
I think that was his pre-Aegis XP, HP that he went back to.
That would have been real bad.
That would have been bad. Yeah.
That is a dieback for Dyrachyo, and Secret in a commanding spot now. Doing a great job of getting back in this game. And just showing how the late game Weaver, I mean, if you give this hero this many items, of course he's going to be good. It's more about the early mid game. I have zero belief in.
Yeah. He does a lot of damage, though, with this talent. The Geminate talent. It's been an underrated one for quite some time. Another thing that was actually from Ag's Labyrinth that I think...
Well, you're a real fan of Ag's Labyrinth.
Well, I think it made people try things that they weren't trying before. And I do actually think it had an impact at the time. It was very big. It was a big game.
So you can see the kick is going to come here in a second. Well, first he focuses down Dyrachyo. Kick back, time lapses, but he hasn't been alive long enough.
Lower HP than he was before he got kicked.
But luckily did have the cheese.
Yeah, that's goofy. It's a weird interaction. But no, you can tell that Secret feels like they know that they have a commanding lead in this game. And at this point, you're feeling really good about your Weaver Zeus late game. Even Ice. I mean, this guy's top net worth, right? We haven't talked about him at all, but He's got that Hex, which has been very effective in these fights. He's been a pain in the ass for the Dawnbreaker because of the pure damage that he's doing, the strength-based pure damage. He's got a Refresher Orb, so it's 2 BKBs, 2 Sheeps coming out as well.
4 Chakrams.
That actually impactful because there is a cooldown on it, and in these fights you're using it for burst. So it is a little impactful. But Secret, they can just farm up and wait until their buybacks come up and eventually go high ground. And as long as they don't go throw, they should feel pretty good about this game because they know that Game Gladiators does not feel comfortable leaving their base. Yeah. If they do, it's for a Hail Mary, and it will be the last fight of the game and probably going the way of Secret.
Indeed.
So they feel like they have to sit in base.
Yeah, you can see the buybacks, most of which are up for Secret, and on the other side, 0. So, hook shot. All right, Tusk, that's essentially a dieback because they know you will not have buyback anytime soon. And this is going to be Mega Creeps pretty easily for Secret as Ice trying to buy a little bit of space. And look at him just solo down Dyrachyo. And that is a dieback for him as well as Boom trying to salvage this game. But it looks like it's going to go to game 3 as Secret extend it. GGs are called. Secret were down like 6-7K at a relatively early stage. And they came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, that was really nice from them. Zayat, I think, was a big reason.